Hi guys, Mr. Jaeger here, and welcome to the last update video of 2025. Woo! So, content and stuff. Basically, I saw the content for this video, and I saw the content in my in my channel content creation thing, YouTube Studio stuff, and I didn't want the video for the last video of 2025 to be me shouting at the screen about how much I don't like Company of Heroes 3 anymore. So I wanted to make this video to summarize what's going on and to talk roughly about what plans are going forward, and also to try and actually get this recording done, because I've been doing this now for almost 2 hours and my very much ADHD bad habits are coming through because it keeps making me delete the bloody video recordings and then redoing them from scratch. Yeah. Anyway, hence why it took me fucking ages to do the summary video for the Company of Heroes 3, because I recorded the entire fucking audio segment and I only recently just finally crammed it through my brain to stop deleting the fucking audio. And, it's really irritating. I know it's absolutely to do with me. It's not an outside factor whatsoever. But there would just be a bit where I would record the audio, I'd have everything ready, and I'd be like, right, we just need to add this all together. And then I'd listen to it after not doing anything for maybe a couple of days, and then I would delete it because I would think, well, actually, I don't think I get enough information right out for that one. It is so fucking annoying. Anyway, enough of that. So, to briefly explain what's going on, a couple months ago, I made a video updating saying that I was hanging up doing YouTubing. And I, although uploaded a couple of things here and there, primarily the Company of Heroes playthrough and a couple of episodes of Infection Free Zone and the IAE, I haven't done any live streaming, and I've kind of gone a bit radio silent when it comes to the uploads. They were kind of all over the place. The plan... so to briefly explain that initial thing with the whole process, I've basically reached a point where life and passion have adjusted enough that, because this is a hobby of mine, this takes secondary over life. Life is more important, and I'm at a point in my life where I'm wanting to do things to ensure that I have a stable future. And that naturally means that doing stuff like YouTube is going to take a side note, because I can't be spending time doing one thing like YouTubing or doing whatever when I've got important work or life stuff or abilities to do shit that I kind of wanted to do, but I couldn't because I was in a shitty dead-end job in the previous thing. So now that that's in a position where I can do something good, I'm going to seize this with both hands, which obviously means that sadly YouTube will take a sort of a bit of a downturn. But I never earned money from it anyway, and I wouldn't dare charge you guys for it, because Christ almighty, of all the people who does not deserve money for doing such a shit job of YouTubing, it's this guy. Anyway, so going back to the plans for the future, I have adjusted my stance a little bit since I made that video. I am very much done doing YouTubing recording for a while, and I feel like it's more going to become an elongated break than a finger quote, done forever, never coming back sort of thing. But what I am going to be doing periodically, depending on availability, is I may be doing some live stream sort of stuff. Now, the reason why I'm saying I might be coming back after doing recording is because there's a couple of games. Well, there's one game in particular that I want to talk about, which is Infection Free Zone, because that was one of the games I said I wanted to finish before stopping YouTube. The problem is that I didn't actually get round to playing lots of Infection Free Zone because I just didn't really want to play it. I was just kind of like, and I kind of just recorded a few episodes here or there, but nowhere near as much as it should have been, resulting in episodes being released, and then that was it, more or less. So the reason why I'm saying that and all this jazz is because, well, I've lost the save. The save's gone, unfortunately. Now, this is my fault, and I will hold my hands up and say it. It's my fault because I've not played it, and in the time that I have not played it, a series of really big updates were implemented into the game. So this is all on me. Do not blame Infection Free Zone. To briefly summarize, when I try to load the map I'm trying to load, because there's such big changes made to the map since I last played, it's obvious that the version I've got of my map is not compatible with the version that's available in the game at the moment. So yeah, it's not it's not likely to be returned, sadly. So this will kind of segue us into the thing into a bit of a video, but let me just take you into the actual video itself, and I'll explain in greater detail. So here we are once again in infection-free zone, and as you can see by the roadmap, things have things have updated since I last played the game. More importantly, we've got a bunch of new awesome features, which I'm looking forward to having a crack at some point in the future for that. But yeah, no, apart from the stuff on the roadmap, which is mentioning about like NPC zones and expeditions, additional story chapters, blah 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 blah, I have been following the roadmaps on the Steam side of things as well, and a couple of the features that I'm really liking about this particular thing, and one I'm going to wait a little bit before I go back into it, and yes, I will say now, I do plan on doing something with this later on. Two reasons. One, because we've lost the save for this. So to explain, as I mentioned a little bit earlier, the save for Infection-Free Zone is basically out of date. The game last time I played the game was in September, and there's been a whole bunch of big updates since then. I've tried loading into other locations, and it is, in fact, correct, and everything's fine. But unfortunately for us, we played an older version that had a significant change made to it. It's kind of understandable given what was going on. So, yeah, in terms of doing stuff, it's sadly out of date. But that's fine. That is completely fine. Let's go to here. There we go. So, one of the things that we can do now, if we go over to this Plymouth. So, if we go back to where we started in our particular playthrough, which, of course, will be the city of Truro, which for some reason, Truro seems to always... Right, was that it? Yeah, that was about it. Yeah, that was about it. So, in the playable area of Truro, as you can see, not a huge amount of stuff was here, but it was a pretty reasonable size of map. And one of the things that they've done, obviously they've added a bunch of things. For example, they've now added some layers and some sort of location stashes for different sort of factions. So there's more to do inside the zone than just simply explore and grab certain bits. So there's more stuff to explore, develop, and to build up, which is pretty cool. They've also extended the map size, which means the entirety of Truro is now available for exploration, which I think is really cool. So now, as you can see, the entirety of Truro in the core essence is explorable. We could nudge the map a little bit further to the left to incorporate some of the more the road leading out towards that location, but I kind of like this road. I kind of like this being the way that it is because it obviously encompasses the whole core of the thing. We've also got some new settlements and stuff. It's cool. I like it. It's really cool. The game does give you a heads up and says, yeah, no, if you wanna not do this because it's gonna kill your computer. But I like this. My personal hope, and I realize this is a far-fetched concept, but hey, let the modders do it, and I will love them for it. I'd like to expand the zone just a bit, maybe to a 10 by 10, or up to a 10 by 10. I realize this is going to completely bugger the performance of the game, but that's on my system, not on the game itself. But I think that would be really cool, because that means then we have a larger area to cover, and you could potentially have an entire settlement, because there's some areas that are covered by this. So, for example, Red Ruth pretty much has the entirety of the location if you strategically place it. Camborne as well, if you want to, do that. There is options for it, but there are certain settlements, certain cities. For example, let's go to, say, Plymouth, which, yeah, Plymouth is pretty freaking huge. So you can only get so far with that. But imagine being able to plonk this down and having enough territory to cover the entirety of Plymouth. Now, that would mean it would be kind of like a mega campaign. But I think that would be really kind of cool as a concept. 20 Holy shit. Could you imagine doing it 10 by 10? The game's just like, I'm going to die. It probably makes sense that they wouldn't be able to do that. But it would be, as I said, I think it would be pretty cool if we could increase the size even a little bit more. Yes, performance intensive. Not going to question that. But still, I think that would be a, if you can, what would it be like sort of thing. Because that would be one hell of a challenge, is all I'm going to say. But no, so the other thing that they mentioned as well in terms of one of the big updates that I actually kind of came to this game for, and I really like the sound of, and I really hope that they can develop more into it. But basically, what I hope that we get to see with this is the ability. They've added an ability for you to unlock convoys, so you can establish a settlement in a location. So let's say, for example, if we head up further north, and we make our way towards. Well, Birmingham is already like this before the apocalypse, so it's kind of pointless going to this place after the apocalypse, because there's literally no difference. So we'll go to another location. Stafford, there we go. So imagine going to Stafford, and then being like, okay, I've completed the map zone around Stafford, and I want to try and expand to another location. Then you're like, well, I hear about Stoke-on-Trent, so you then send a convoy up to Stoke-on-Trent to establish a new colony. And then you can kind of, in a weird way, I think there's a game, I think RimWorld does that. Feel free to correct me on that. I haven't really played RimWorld. I played a little bit of it, but not nearly enough. But you can kind of establish a settlement and then establish a colony in the different zones. So that would be kind of cool to do. I think that would be a really cool opportunity for you to, like, try new stuff on that. So there is at least something in that realm. But yeah, there's a whole host of different locations you can go to now. And obviously, it's not just in good old Blighty. We do have different countries around the world. We've got the Netherlands, we've got France, we've got Germany, Spain, America, even Norway. We have a whole host of different locations to sort of try out. As I mentioned earlier as well, I am probably going to hold off hopping into this just yet, because obviously with the new year and with the new sort of things, there's going to be a bunch of new updates, and I kind of want to see where they go with some of like the custom events or other sort of elements, because then, well, obviously apart from maybe what we could see in modding, but maybe we could also see some really cool things else being developed. But yes, I think I would be down for doing a series on this game like this, and to be fair, this is kind of a way of showcasing the game from start to finish, with all of the updates and all features. I would be half tempted to go back to Truro to finish off in Truro, but at the same time, I obviously would need to change locations at some point. But since we can go to a new location, we'll see how it feels. I might go back to Truro, I might not. We will see, though. Anyway, back to the main video. So, now that we've talked a bit about the recording side of content, basically, as I was saying in the video, I do kind of want to come back to Infection Tree Zone once there's been a bit more development in that regard. And I think when there's more features into the game, hopefully the mod makers and everything else will come through to make the game even more exciting and more awesome. So definitely a big fan of what that is, and I hope more comes in the future from that one, because I've been following the game's development for a while, and I really do like it. I think it's a really good opportunity. There's other games I kind of would like to I would ponder on recording or ponder on making, but I would make very simplistic videos on that one, because I feel like that's the YouTube I'm good at, and it's the most fun that I can do. I don't mind spending time making occasional edits. I mean, for example, my playthroughs in Hearts of Iron 4, where I've done the end of the Enclave outro for that one. I love that bit. I'm quite proud of that one there. So shit like that I would be okay with doing on occasion, but right now the plan is don't do that. We're not going to be doing that. But the big plan at the moment will be potentially to lean into maybe live streaming for a little bit. And again, taking a sort of smallish break. Plan in terms of when I would continue live streaming is most likely going to be set for the New Year's. So in regards to finishing off Red Dead Redemption 2, which, ironically, I've actually stopped at the bit that I stopped playing at when I first played through on the Xbox. Years ago, I played Red Dead Redemption 2 when it came out, all the way back in 2018, and I actually got to the same bit, and I didn't finish the game at that point. I only got up to there, so this is kind of hilarious. Oh, it's actually kind of funny. Anyway, so yes, the plan of action is we're going to be trying to get as much as we can done for that, and then moving on. Basically, we'll finish off that particular game and then sort of move on. There's a couple of other live stream games I kind of want, or there's a couple of other games I want to live stream as well. Namely being the game Generation Zero. Because Generation Zero is a game that I actually looked up when I first started recording it. I started playing Generation Zero on YouTube all the way back in 2021. We actually made a series in 2021. Then in 2023, I made another series going on towards the more recent content from that. And in December of 2024, they announced that Avalanche Games basically announced the end of Generation Zero. So in terms of active development, Generation Zero, they basically have ended their time with the game, and it all is pretty much now on maintenance only, which is, it's sad. I am saddened. Because I want to, I am saddened because it's the end of an era. I did like those games. I do like Generation Zero. It's a really fun game, but obviously the experience definitely. I'd need to make sure that I'd have to play through and finish it off because, it's one of those things that it's a game I've been playing for on and off for years, and I wanted to give it a good send off. So, and I also really like playing through that game. It's a really fun fucking game to play. So I will definitely be doing something in the lines of recording for that. But that is after I've done Red Dead Redemption 2. The other game I kind of wanted to do live streaming on is Icarus. Icarus is a game that I've been playing on and off since the release of it, and I love it. It's one of my favorites, so it's definitely in my top 5 favorite games of all time, and the bastards have recently released an update which includes spiders. Fuckers. But no, so the plan I'm hoping to do with Icarus is being able to delete the save that I've got, and eventually kind of when they've released the latest content, which by the time I get round to doing it, because I'll have done other stuff as well as life and shit like that, hopefully their more recent updates will have occurred, and I'll be able to just hop in and do all the other sort of bits and pieces. But yeah, no, it's a lot of fun, and I'm looking forward to showcasing that, because I kind of want to do like all of the missions in one map, then all of the missions in the other map, and then all the missions in the final map, and then whatever other map that is going to be available in the game by the time I get there, sort of thing. So that's the plan for that one, at least. Anyway, going on to, so basically the plans for 2026 is going to be a mixture of things. IRL and other jazz, I'll be doing, I'm aiming to do some stuff more IRL than to do in terms of gaming. So content is not going to be guaranteed. I am going to say I want to try and live stream once or twice a week, but that does not mean it will happen. Most likely, it will be a case of I will try to, similar to the thing that I talked about in regards to Red Dead Redemption 2, is that if I feel like I can do some live streaming, then I will post in the community chat section a couple of, like, a day or at least 24 hours beforehand, or at least, the day beforehand, hey, I'm gonna do this, and then at this particular time, and if I can make it and we can do it, then there you go, there's the live stream. And obviously it'll be on YouTube, so it'll be something that will be able to be saved, and the hope is I'll be able to enjoy making this content, doing this content, and you guys can also enjoy bits and pieces as we go along. So while I'm kind of stopping the recording side of YouTube, I'm not quite finished with it yet, and as mentioned, I'm going to be still kind of taking a bit of a break for YouTube. I've already taken a bit of a break doing YouTube content for a while anyway, but this is kind of a more definitive finale of, hey, yeah, this is how, well, this is more of a definitive sort of, okay, I've taken a bit of a break, we'll see how doing this makes me feel, and then because I won't be recording stuff as much or at all, and I'll focus be primarily towards things like just live streaming, then that could be something that will serve as a good outlet. There's only one game I think I probably would be willing to record, which would be the SPT stuff for Tarkov, but that's a big if. I'd be more tempted to stream it than anything, but then again, I'd also probably lose my access to my Tarkov account. I don't know, actually. I think if I go with different names and stuff, it should be safe. Yeah, it should be safe, but still. Well, we'll see. He says, famous last words. But yeah, I would say the plan, I would say that would be the sort of things for that. But anyway, I've rambled on long enough. You've been watching this for a while, and I've been attempting to record this particular thing for the last 2 and a bit hours. So before I lose my mind, I'm just going to wrap things up here. Thank you all so much. Like, seriously, thank you from the bottom of my heart. You guys from 2012 to 2025 have been there listening to me ramble and rage at the most stupidest things possible, but I cannot begin to express my appreciation, my gratitude for all of the comments, all of the messages, even the negative ones, even the ones where people say, what the fuck's wrong with you, you're a shit, blah, blah, blah. I appreciate that because it shows, okay, maybe not at the time, but it shows that there are people who are commentating and telling me to improve, and it's a great motivation. But I also love seeing the comments, and I still get them. I still get one or two on a rare occasion that I'll get someone saying that they liked the game that I play, or that they, that I made their day with a video, and I can't help but I can't express in words effectively enough how much that helps me as well. Like, it's honestly so awesome to hear that and to know that I was able to help someone get through a shit day. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for all of your time. Here's hoping 2026 will be a profitable year for many people and less chaotic for sure, both in the world and in my life. And let's all hope 2026 will be a good year. Please. Please, 2026, please. Just don't be a 2016, all right? I've only just gotten over 2016. I don't need another. But no, seriously, thank you all so very much from the bottom of my heart. And I will catch you guys in 2026. This is Mr. Jaeger, signing out.